Hello, here I am on text editor. Now, today we will learn variables, about variables, how to declare variables in C and how to use them. So, what is a variable? Okay, in C, a variable is nothing but a name given to a storage area that our programs can manipulate. So, it is name of a location in memory where some data like a number or any string may be saved, and it can be manipulated, so it can be changed later or fetched and used. So that is what a variable in C or any programming language. So we will learn today how to declare a variable and how to use them. To do that, now let's start. First we have to include our standard input output header. Okay, then int main. Inside this main function we will declare variables. Now there are many types of variables in C, such as integer, double, float, string, char, and many others. So today we'll learn two of them, integer and double or float. So first let's declare variables which are integer type. To do that, we write int, then the variable name. Let's the first variable be num1. In C, the variable name can contain letters, numbers, but the name has to start with a letter or an underscore. It can start with a number, so you can't declare a variable whose name is toNum, but you can declare a variable whose name is underscore num. So next, let's say another variable num2, then sum is another variable. These are integer type variable. That's why we are declaring them as int. So let's assign some values. Num1 equals to, let's say, 80. Num2 equals to, let's say it is 50. Sum equals to num1 plus num2. Okay, now we have to return 0. So return 0. So here what we do is we are declaring three variables, integer type variables. Then we assign num1 the value 80. Then we are assigning num2 the value 50, and sum is another integer variable, and we are assigning its value to be num1 plus num2. So what computer will do is it will add num1 and num2, then assign the value to the sum. Okay, now if we run this code, it won't print anything because we did not tell it to print anything, but it will do this operation, then this operation, then this operation, but it won't print anything. So if we want to see the sum, we have to print. Okay, here let's say we want to print the sum is, then %d. Now what this %d does is it is a placeholder for integer type variables. In the string, this %d appears is the place where an integer type variable will be replaced with it. So if we write here sum, this %d will be replaced by this value of sum. Now let's save it. Then we have to compile it. So G++ variables dot C. Let the object file name be var. So it's compiled successfully. Now we execute it. So we can see that it is showing that the sum is 130, which is what we wanted. Now, if let's say we want to print 80 plus 50 equals to 130. So what shall we do? Then we have to write %d plus %d equals to %d. This first %d is num1, then the second %d is num2, and third %d is sum. Now if we save it, then compile it. Okay, first let's add a backslash in here so it looks nicer. Okay, now let's compile it. Then if we run it, we get 80 plus 50 equals to 130. Great. Now if we want to, let's say instead of an integer, we want to assign a value which is fractional to num1, then what we have to do? Then if we do this, let's say, and here dot 12, then what will happen? Let's see. Compile it, then run it. Okay, we get 80 plus 50 equals to 130. So what is after the decimal point is truncated. In this case, that is truncated because we assigned this value in integer type variable, but it is not integer. So to assign fractional numbers in variables, we have to declare variables as double or float. We can use double or we can use float, whatever you prefer. Then if we use double or float, then we have to change here because %d is placeholder for integer type variable and it is no longer an integer. So we have to write here %f, and here also %f, and here f, or you can write %lf, both works. Now if we compile it and run it, what we get? Okay, we get 80.9, then lots of 0, plus 50.12, then lots of 0, 131.02, then lots of zeros. Okay, this is correct result, but let's say we don't want these zeros after these values. Then what we have to do? Okay, in that case, we can say here how many digits after the decimal point we want to print. So let's say we want to print here one decimal point after the one digit after the decimal point. So we will write %.1f. Here it is %.2f. So it will print 2 digits after decimal point. Here %.2f. Okay, if we save it, then compile it and run it, we get 80.9 plus 50.02 equals to 131.02, which is what we wanted. This is it for this lecture. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, ask me in the comment section. See you guys in the next lecture.